Very good afternoon to my lecturer, Janatun Nain Uma. I'm Telagavati Velia Velu in a BLC program and Blender student. Today I'm going to present my assignment 2 on title Law of Thought 2. Okay, I'm going to talk about the nervous shock. Psychiatric harm and nervous shock refer to any mental or psychological injury a claimant may have suffered. A claimant's case will be evaluated similarly to one of a physical harm if they have experienced both physical and psychological injuries. If the only harm they have experienced is psychological, the procedure outlined below will be applied to handle the case. Primary victims. A claimant will be a primary victims if they suffer psychiatric damage as a result of a reasonable fear for their own physical safety. This means that the claimant was involved or fear that they might be involved in the negligent event. They must have been in a zone physical danger. General of duty of care. For a primary victim, the standard mechanism for establishing a duty of care are used. In Dublin Stevenson case wherein Mrs. Donner became ill after consuming a ginger beer bottle that contained a decaying snail. Since a friend had made the drink purchase and she was not a party to the agreement, she was unable to file a claim in a court. In tort law, at the time, the ginger beer manufacturer owned a no duty of care. But this history case reversed that and opened the door for contemporary negligent law. As per Lord Atkins' statement, the amended legislation mandated that one must exercise due caution to refrain from action or inaction that could potentially cause harm to their neighbor. Loss is possible. When the physical harm suffer was possible, then any psychiatric harm suffer is also automatically possible. The main case in this area is Page versus Smith. Medically recognized illness. However, the claimant must prove that their harm is a medically recognized form of psychiatric illness. Court will consult the International Classification of Diseases Glossary of Mental Disorder and the American Psychiatry Association Diagnosis and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder. The definition are subject to periodic update the incorporate newly recognized form of mental illness. Therefore, a claim that was denied in one instance may be covered in the subsequent one. Secondary victims. A secondary victim suffer nervous shock due to fear at the safety of another. Usually, this would be witnessing harm done to another person. For example, a mother who saw runway lorry approaching her children was classified as a secondary victim in the case of Hambrook versus Stokes. A secondary victim was also Mrs. Haynes, who saw her husband die and her children suffer injury in an automobile accident. In McLean versus O'Brien, the definition of the secondary victims are expanded to include people who were not present for the first incident. In the immediate aftermath of the car incident, a mother who was not at the scene but experienced nervous shock upon seeing a family in the hospital was able to file a claim as a secondary victim. Issue. The issues in this case is whether Maria can successfully claim damage against AD for nervous shock. Rules are used to determine whether Maria can claim damage for nervous shock. We need to consider the legal principles surrounding such claims. In general, a claim for nervous shock requires the following element to be established. Duty of care, the defendant must owe a duty of care to the plaintiff. Possibility, it must be reasonably foreseeable that the defendant's action could cause nervous shock to the plaintiff. Proximity, there must be a close relationship of love and affection between the plaintiff and the victims. Reasonable person standard, the nervous shock suffered by the plaintiff must be reasonable, foreseeable to a person of normal fortitude in similar circumstance. Causation, the defendant's action must be cause of the plaintiff nervous shock. Application in this case, Maria is the mother of Lina, who was killed in a road accident caused by Eddie's negligent driving. Maria witnessed the aftermath of the accident and suffered from the acute depression as a result. Here, duty of care, Eddie on a duty of care to all road users, including pedestrians like Lina and Mary. Maria. Possibility is reasonable possible that a road accident caused by texting while driving could result in nervous shock to witness. Proximity, Maria is the mother of the victim, Lina, establishing a close relationship of love and affection. Reasonable person standard, the screaming described by the police officer indicate that the nervous shock suffered by Maria was reasonably foreseeable to a person of a normal fortitude in similar circumstance. Cross-section, Eddie negligent driving to the resulting accident directly caused Lina's death to Maria, nervous shock. Finally, the conclusion, based on the application of the legal principle, Maria has a strong case to claim for a nervous shock against Eddie, the element of duty of care, possibility, proximity, reasonable person standard, and cross-section for satisfaction. In this case, Maria should consult with a lawyer to pursue a claim and seek appropriate compensation for acute depression resulting from the tragic accident. Okay, here only my assignment presentation. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you very much, Miss. Stop sharing. Okay, Anna.